Feeling overwhelmed by debt and not sure how to get out fast? Today, we're breaking down two of the most powerful debt payoff strategies, the Snowball and Avalanche methods, so you can pick the one that works best and start crushing your debt for good. Before we dive into these game-changing tactics, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our smart money tips. Paying off debt can feel impossible, but with the right plan, it's totally doable. In this video, we'll explain both methods, their pros and cons, and help you decide which one will get you debt-free quicker. Let's get started. Why getting out of debt matters. Before diving into methods, let's talk about why crushing your debt should be a priority. Debt isn't just a financial burden. It affects your mental health, relationships, and future options. Studies show that people with high debt levels report more anxiety and stress. Debt limits your choices, from the jobs you can take to where you can live. But the biggest reason to focus on debt is the cost. A $5,000 credit card balance at 18% interest costs you $900 a year just to maintain. That's money that could be building your wealth instead of going to banks. Getting out of debt is like giving yourself an immediate pay raise. The average person who gets serious about debt payoff can be debt-free in 1 to 3 years, excluding mortgage. Imagine what you could do with that extra money once it's not going toward debt payments. That's the freedom we're working toward. The Debt Snowball Method. The Debt Snowball Method was made famous by financial expert Dave Ramsey. Here's how it works. You list all your debts from smallest balance to largest, regardless of interest rates. You make minimum payments on everything, then put any extra money toward the smallest debt. Once that's paid off, you take its payment and add it to the minimum payment on your next smallest debt. For example, let's say you have 3 debts. Credit card, $2,000, minimum payment, $50. Car loan, $10,000, minimum payment, $200. Student loan, $25,000, minimum payment, $300. With the Snowball Method, you'd pay the minimums on the car and student loans, $500 total. Then, put any extra money toward the credit card. If you can add $300 extra per month, you'd pay off the credit card in about 6 months. Then, you take that $350, $50 minimum, plus $300 extra, and add it to your car payment. Now you're paying $550 monthly on the car loan instead of just $200. This snowball grows as you knock out each debt, creating momentum that speeds up the process dramatically. The biggest advantage of the Snowball Method is psychological. Those quick wins, when you pay off smaller debts, give you confidence and motivation to keep going. For many people, seeing progress is more important than mathematical optimization. The Debt Avalanche Method. The Debt Avalanche takes a different approach, focusing on math rather than psychology. With this method, you list your debts from highest interest rate to lowest, regardless of balance. You make minimum payments on everything. Then, put extra money toward the highest interest debt first. Using our previous example, let's say the interest rates are: credit card, $2,000 at 19%, minimum payment, $50. Car loan, $10,000 at 6%, minimum payment, $200. Student loan, $25,000 at 4.5%, minimum payment, $300. With the Avalanche Method, you'd focus on the credit card first, because 19% is the highest rate, then the car loan, then the student loan. The approach is exactly the same as the Snowball, except for the order in which you tackle debts. The main advantage of the Avalanche Method is that it saves you the most money in interest over time. By targeting high-interest debts first, you reduce the total amount paid more efficiently. For people who are motivated by optimization and saving the maximum amount, this method makes more mathematical sense. Which method is better? Here's the truth. The best method is the one you'll actually stick with. The Snowball might cost you a bit more in interest, but if it keeps you motivated to get completely out of debt, it's worth it. The Avalanche saves you more money, but if you get discouraged and give up, those potential savings vanish. Research from Harvard Business Review found that people using the Snowball Method were more likely to successfully eliminate their debt completely. The quick wins provide momentum that helps overcome the psychological challenge of debt payoff. That said, the difference in costs between methods is usually smaller than people think. In our example above, the difference might only be a few $100s over a 2 to 3 year payoff period, a small price to pay for staying motivated. My recommendation: use the Snowball if you need motivation and quick wins. Use the Avalanche if you're confident in your discipline and want to optimize every dollar. Either way, you'll be debt-free much faster than with minimum payments alone. Finding extra money for debt payoff. The power of both methods comes from putting extra money toward debt each month. But where do you find that extra cash? Here are 5 practical strategies. First, create a bare-bones budget for the debt payoff period. This isn't forever. It's a temporary focused effort. Cut subscriptions, eat out less, and pause expensive hobbies. Every $100 monthly you free up can knock years off your debt timeline. Second, sell stuff you don't need. Most of us have thousands in unused items around our homes: electronics, furniture, sports equipment. Selling these can give your debt payoff a quick boost. Third, consider a side hustle specifically for debt payoff. Dedicate all earnings from a few hours of weekly work directly to debt. Driving for rideshare, freelancing, or pet sitting can add hundreds monthly to your debt payments. Fourth, use found money wisely. Tax refunds, work bonuses, cash gifts. Commit to putting at least 80% of these windfalls toward debt. This strategy alone can shave months off your payoff timeline. Finally, call your creditors and ask for lower interest rates. A simple 15-minute phone call can sometimes reduce credit card rates by 3 to 5 percentage points, saving hundreds over your payoff period. Creating your debt payoff plan. Now let's put everything together into a simple step-by-step plan. Step 1. List all your debts with balances, minimum payments, and interest rates. Step 2. Choose your method: Snowball, smallest balance first, or Avalanche, highest interest first. Step 3. Calculate your debt snowball amount, how much extra you can put toward debt each month. Step 4. Create a visual tracking system. This could be a spreadsheet, app, or even a simple chart on your wall where you color in your progress. Seeing your debt shrink keeps you motivated. Step 5. Set up automatic payments for all minimum payments to avoid late fees and credit score damage. Step 6. Celebrate milestones along the way. For each debt you pay off, do something small to reward yourself without spending much money. With this plan, you'll know exactly when you'll be debt-free. Having this end date in sight makes the journey much more manageable. Avoiding debt relapse. As you pay off debts, you might face a common problem: the temptation to start using that available credit again. To prevent this, consider closing some accounts as you pay them off, though be careful with credit cards, as this can affect your credit score. Another strategy is to hide your credit cards. Freeze them in a block of ice or lock them in a drawer, making them harder to use impulsively. Some people also find it helpful to cut up cards while keeping the accounts open. The most important factor is addressing what got you into debt in the first place. Was it living beyond your means? Lack of emergency savings? Medical bills? Understanding the root cause helps prevent future debt cycles. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching.